All right, so welcome to part 2 of our first Zoom chat of the year. So we just finished our little talk on personal development, talking about the entrepreneur roller coaster. And prior to that, we were talking about our 3 vital behaviors, the first of which is being a product of the product, the second of which, obviously, personal development, and the third, invite, invite, invite. I'm not going to put more importance on one vital behavior. They're all 3 vital. But inviting is probably the toughest to do. They say you should invite 3 to 5 people to a challenge group each week. I have found it is infinitely easier and I get an infinitely better response if I'm inviting those people to a free group. People are leery of someone who comes right at them and tries to sell them something. They are less so if you are coming at them and just showing like, hey, I want to help you. So free groups are an excellent way to not only get customers, but then to show those customers that you are genuinely invested in their health and well-being. And thirdly, that you, I think I lost my train of thought there. So I'm just going to continue on. There are 2 types of free groups that you should be leading. The first is a free fitness accountability group. And I hope that you all have a free fitness accountability group up and running. Invite anyone and everyone to this group and do it as often as you can. This is a group where I don't insist that people be my customer to be in my free group. I will ask them before I add them in if they're working with another Beachbody coach, and I leave it at that. If they are, usually I'll kind of wrap up our conversation at that point because I don't want to step on another coach's toes. But I don't make them become my customer to be in my free fitness accountability group. It's also a great place to dip into and private message everybody once in a while and see how they're doing. And again, just show them that you care. My accountability group isn't super active, but every now and then someone will pop out of there and want to do a challenge. The other type of free group that you can be inviting people to is a clean eating challenge. I have done 5, 7, and 10-day clean eating challenges that are free. And these are just a phenomenal way to show people what a challenge group is like. It's a great way to whet their appetite. It's a great way to introduce them to your groups. And it's a great way to plant seeds about challenge groups. So I think there was a lot of trial and error with my free groups there for a while. And I've got a system down now that's pretty effective. And so let me grab my outline, see where I'm at here. I want to go over my strategy with you really quickly. So my first strategy is that I try to send out at least 10 friend requests per day. And then whenever somebody accepts one of my friend requests, well, before I get to that, I send a friend request only to people with whom I have something in common. So either we have at least a few friends in common, like not just one, or we have like a city in common, like they either live or grew up near where I live or grew up, something where when they accept my friend request, I can message them about something. You've got to be able to start a conversation with these people. And I'm not going to be that weirdo who's just like, hey, thanks for extending my friend request, stranger. Are you into fitness? That's weird. Nobody's going to talk to me. So if instead I'm like, oh, I see you grew up near such and such, like I grew up over in this town, we were in the same conference, whatever. It's a place to start a conversation. If they message me back, I immediately put their name on a list over here for someone I'm going to message in the next 2 to 3 days about a eating challenge. I'm not going to bring it up right away. Once in a while, when I'm messaging a new friend, fitness will come up organically, but it doesn't happen very often, and it's not easy to steer a conversation towards fitness. I think some of the coaches make that seem really easy. Like, oh, you're talking to somebody else, steer that conversation towards fitness. That's weird. I'm sorry, but if we're talking about our hometowns and suddenly I'm like, so you like fitness? Like, that's weird. And they're going to see salesman written right over my head, and they're going to stop talking to me. So instead, we chat back and forth a few times, I keep it organic, I keep it natural, and then a couple days later, I will send them a message like this. I'm going to read to you a message that I would send. Hi, Melissa. This is going to be a little out of left field, but I'm putting together a totally free 10-day clean eating and fitness group that'll start on Monday, January 4th. It's going to be a new year, new you free challenge, and I wondered if you'd like to be a part of it. This group is going to be full of other busy moms, which is why I thought of you. I know we've never talked health or fitness, so I have no idea if you'd be interested in this or not, but I wanted to invite you and let you know that I'd love to include you. I think that the new year is going to be a perfect time to start a free group like this. Most of us will be suffering from the dreaded holiday hangover, and many of us might really benefit from the extra kick in the rear to get things going again. If you'd like to be included, or if you'd just like a little more info, please let me know. It's not pushy. It's, you know, I feel like it's coming from a place where I'm just like, hey, maybe you'd like to do this. You know, we've never talked about it, but it couldn't hurt to ask. And then if they'd like to be included, I have a separate script. I'm fairly certain I've uploaded it to the team page. If not, I will. And that's just the little script I use when people express interest in one of my free challenges. It just lets them know a little bit more about the challenge. And then it gives them a link to my Beachbody website where they can register. Because for my challenges, they do have to be my customer. For my accountability group, no. If you're going to be in my challenges, you got to be my customer. That's the least of it. And here's how I think about that. If someone isn't even willing to click a link and take 1 minute to fill out a registration, they're not going to be a good challenger. They're not interested. So for the people that are interested but don't fill out the link, like I'll message them again a couple of days later and just let them know like, hey, I'd still really love to include you. I'll send them my link again. And if I don't hear from them, it's cool. You know, I'm not going to keep badgering them about a free challenge. So when I run my free clean eating challenges, I start planting seeds all the way throughout that challenge. So each day I'll throw in either like a sweaty workout pic where I talk about how much I love my workouts. And even if I'm doing like right now, I'm going to be doing hammer and chisel again. I kind of think I'm probably still going to just say that I'm doing the 21-day fix because that's a program that's a big seller. It's a program most people have heard of. It's a program that is at least probably on their radar, and it's the best seller. It's a bestseller for a reason. It's a phenomenal program. So I plant these little seeds. You know, I talk about my workouts each day. I'll throw in a Shakeology post, maybe not every day, but at least every other day, and just talk about how much it helps me get through my day. I try not to be salesy. I just try to be like, oh my God, I love my Shakeology so much. And like a picture of me drinking my Shakeology. Let's see. Oh, and this is where I really started to see a difference with my free challenges. I started to build relationships with the people in these challenges, private messages. This is where it's at. There are, I know that I've uploaded this to our team page, and it's called Messages to Clean Eaters or Clean Eating Challengers or something. And it's got a lot of different examples because you're going to have different types of challengers. You're going to have the people that are super gung-ho and super active, and they get a message where I add value to them and I let them know you are rocking this challenge. It's people like you that make these challenges so awesome. I'm so glad you're a part of this challenge. And I do this about halfway through my challenge. And then I have another message that I'll send to people that I haven't heard from at all and just let them know, like, you know, I hope that you're enjoying this challenge. And you know, if you get the chance to just pop in there and let us know how it's going, we would all really love to hear from you. I actually printed out all my messages, but I'm not going to sit here and read all these to you. You guys can read them yourselves. I'm not saying use these messages by any means, but I am saying you should message your challengers. You can use these as a jumping off point, you know, use these as inspiration. And then I message them again at the end of the challenge. I thank them regardless of whether I heard word one from them in this challenge or not. I thank them so much for being a part of the challenge. And then I let them know about my next clean eating challenge. I let them know, hey, maybe the timing of this one didn't work out for you. Well, I'm running another one on January 25th. So if the timing of that one would work out better, I would love to add you into that group. And so often I will have people be like, yes, I was just so busy. I would love to do your next challenge. So again, it's showing them that I care, and it's showing them that I want to help. They haven't given me a penny, and I am still bending over backwards to help them. And then I also play a game in my challenges, a little point-based game. I give them, 2 points. I'm looking at my game board here. I keep it on my wall. 2 points if they like my fit page. 3 points if they like my posts. 4 points if they comment on my posts. 5 points if they invite their friends to like my page. It's all about them promoting me. 5 points when they upload a healthy meal picture. 5 points if they share a motivational post. 25 points if they join my next 30-day fitness challenge. So right away, I'm letting them know that this 30-day fitness challenge thing exists. They may not know what it is yet, but it exists. And man, do I They get a lot of points. My prizes are like, I give away either a couple Shakeology packets and a Shakeology shaker cup to the winner, or I'll give away some like food, like some, what are they called? Like bento boxes. You can buy them on Amazon. They're like little compartmentalized boxes that are great if you're doing meal prep. I give away like 5 of those. You can get a set of 10 for like $12, and I'll just divide that in half. And that'd be great, Dawn. And I can also upload the JPEG that I use as my challenge within the challenge. Oh, but I did learn, and let me just share this with you. Set a minimum number of points. Because there for a while, I had people like barely participating in my groups, and I'd be like, I have to send a gift to this person, and they did like nothing. Set a minimum. Make sure people are working for it. I set a minimum of 50 points. If nobody's going to bother to even get 50 points in my group, then you're not getting anything from me for free. But I've got some people kicking ass in my challenge right now, which is great. And when I message people, especially that last message, I let them know about the fitness challenge. I let them know about that 4 or 5 week fitness challenge, whatever you're doing. Know when your next challenge is so you can talk to people about it. But I had someone in my last clean eating challenge that never spoke up in that challenge once, never posted a pic, never liked a status, never commented, nothing. Nonetheless, I messaged this person. And she loved the group. She's just not one to participate. She loved it. She wanted to know about my challenge group. She bought a challenge pack. She's in my challenge group right now. So just because you have someone who's not participating, it doesn't mean that they're not really invested in the group. But if you don't message them and if you don't build that relationship, you're never going to know. So important to do that. And I have found that this new system I have where I'm adding my friends and starting conversations with them, and then 2 or 3 days later inviting them to the group, I'm finding I'm having way more people in these clean eating challenges than I used to, and a lot more new people, which is so important because we need to be reaching new people every day. So I'm converting more free customers to paying customers, which is awesome. So that is actually the end of my outline. I do have my little messages to clean eaters here. Again, I'm not going to sit here and read those to you. They are uploaded in our team page. But they're a great resource just to see, like, this is what I say. Now figure out what you're going to say. Be genuine with people. Don't copy and paste mine verbatim, because it's not going to sound like you. And if you're building a relationship with these people, they're going to know your voice from someone else's voice. When I see a post I really like and copy and paste it, doesn't do shit. I don't get anything. I don't get likes. I don't get comments because it's not me. And people know it's not me, and it doesn't get me anywhere. So be genuine and be yourself. By all means, use those as much as you'd like, but change up the language a little bit to more reflect your style. At this point, feel more than welcome to unmute yourselves. Let's ask some questions. That's really all I had for tonight. I wanted to talk about your goals for 2016, and I wanted to help you start running really effective, clean, or effective free challenges. It's a great way to springboard into paid challenges. So that's what I had for you tonight. So now, does anybody have any questions for me or for Whitney or just for everybody?
Nobody's gonna talk.
We've got a quiet group.
Yes. I know I woke Kim up. She looks so tired. She was sleeping.
I was watching something. I just dozed off. It didn't dawn on me. I totally forgot.
I know I talked to Nicole and Kim about your guys' goals, and I got a couple of things from Kim. Did you guys finish writing your goals down for the year?
I'm not completely done. I'm still working on that.
So now that Amy did this call, we can extend that deadline till next Wednesday, and then we can just upload it with everybody.
Okay.
That way we've got that in there too.
I want to talk about our next team call. And I have some ideas on what the topic should be, but I think before I say that, I would like to know, what do you guys want to do a team call on? Like, I was thinking maybe 2 weeks from tonight, which would be the 20th.
Go.
But I would love to know, what do you guys want to talk about? Like, where do you feel like you could really use some pointers? What do you struggle with the most? Not everybody all at once.
I guess it's just really running a successful group, like doing, like having a successful challenge page. Like, what should you be posting? Like, how? I mean, I guess you kind of touched a lot of that tonight, but
well, actually, the what should you be posting is a really good question, and Meg ran a week-long group a couple weeks ago, which was phenomenal, because I still struggle with that. I've been a coach for 2 years, and there are days that I really struggle with, like, what am I going to post today? Like, there are some days where I'm like, idea after idea, and my posts are flowing, and then I'll have like a 3-day drought where I'm like, I don't know what to say. So Meg put together this 7-day group, and every day we were supposed to post 5 times a day. And this is exactly what we were supposed to post on. So get a pen and write this down, because this is good shit. Not necessarily in this order.
In there for you, Amy.
What?
I put it in the chat for you. I put the whole list in the chat.
There it is.
Where you
yeah, and it doesn't have to be in this order by any means. As a matter of fact, you need to mix it up on a daily basis. But you want to do a motivational quote with a selfie. You want to do a what am I doing right now? A healthy recipe, a workout related pic, and a hook jab. Now, a hook or a jab, Meg put out a fabulous video on hooks and jabs. Dawn, did I share that video with you?
It is somewhere in our chat.
All right, I'm going to find it there, and I'm going to post that on our group page, because it's less than 20 minutes long. But she does a really great job of telling us what is a hook versus what is a jab. And then she even uses some really exquisite examples of some of the top coaches and some of their hooks and jabs, so that you can see what they're doing and putting out there. And I found that little 7-day group to be so incredibly helpful with just helping me like focus in on scheduling my posts every day and making sure that I was putting out quality posts every day. Because the more you post, the more Facebook is going to share your posts. The less frequently you post, the fewer people are going to see it. Facebook is very picky and very finicky with their business pages. And you know, it's funny because we talk about like dead zones on Facebook, and they say like noon to 4 is a dead zone. Apparently not for my crowd, because I posted something at like 1:30 the other day, and it got more hits than like all of mine combined for the past 3 weeks. I shared it with like 800 people at like 1:30 in the afternoon. So see what works for you in terms of times. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to share this one late tonight when everybody's on. And I'll share it with, I kid you not, 4 people. I have 1,600 and some likes on my page, and my post will be shown to 4 people. So it's all about finding those times. And I don't have that down to a science. It's a constant science experiment, I feel like. But play around with when you're posting and play around with the order of those posts. But that's a great like template to use, those 5 types of posts every day. Any other questions? Does anybody have an idea for a topic for a team call?
I think we could really touch on running effective challenge groups. I think that would be a good thing to touch on for them.
Like, okay, what do you mean by running effective challenge groups? Like, what do you mean, like the people in your challenge groups aren't very active, or?
Just making them where it's not the same, well, I guess if you're starting one, but they don't need to be the same every time. People get bored of that because we do have repeat.
Yeah, that's true.
Stuff like that. Making sure you're posting out of the Beachbody posts where it's not just you know, what they're telling you to post because you need to be original too.
Yeah, I don't really use the Beachbody challenge group guides too much. I find them to be quite salesy.
Yeah.
And they're
They
very,
put a
I
lot
find
in
them
it.
to be quite superficial as well. They're there and they're great if you want to use them. I just find them, they stay right at the surface, you know?
Yeah, you got to keep the challengers involved or they're not going to be your lifelong customers. So I think maybe we could touch on.
I think that's a good idea. Well, why don't we plan for that next Wednesday, January 20th, same time, same place. And we'll talk about running effective challenge groups. And I think we'll touch on selling challenge packs too.
Yeah, that's
Some
a
tips,
that's
some
a good
tips
one.
for selling challenge packs and overcoming objections and things like that. Sound like a plan, Stan? All right. Well, ladies, I want to thank you so much for being here for both meetings tonight. And it is 10 o'clock, so I think that is a good time to say goodnight. And thank you again for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You did
Thank
awesome.
you.
Bye, ladies.
Thanks,
Bye.
Amy. Have a good night.
Thanks for being here. Good night.